Have you noticed that it's getting harder to get up from the couch? Or maybe you've caught yourself holding on to walls when walking across the room, just in case. That subtle unsteadiness, the stiffness in your knees, or the aching in your calves, it might seem like a normal part of aging. But let me ask you something. What if your legs aren't just getting older, they're sending you a warning? In my 10-plus years of working with older adults, one thing has stood out clearly. The legs are the first to fade. Not your memory, not your hearing, your legs. It starts slowly, a misstep here, a little wobble there. Before you know it, stairs become intimidating, long walks turn into short ones, and your independence begins to slip away without you even realizing it. But here's the truth. It doesn't have to be this way. There are 7 powerful foods, simple, everyday foods, that can literally change the way your legs feel and function. These aren't exotic superfoods or expensive supplements. They're right there in your kitchen or your local grocery store. And when eaten the right way, they can help you rebuild muscle, improve circulation, lubricate stiff joints, and reduce inflammation in your legs naturally. In this video, I'll walk you through all 7, one by one. And I won't just tell you what to eat. I'll explain why it works, how to use it effectively, and the difference it can make specifically for people over 60. But before we go any further, let me ask you this. If you've ever felt your legs grow weaker, if you've ever worried about losing your balance, if you've ever asked yourself, is this what aging is supposed to feel like? Then pause right now and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below sharing what you struggle with most. This is where we turn things around, and I want to hear from you. Because the moment you understand what your legs are really telling you, and what you can feed them to heal, is the moment you begin to reclaim your mobility, your freedom, and your confidence. Let's not wait until the walker is in the hallway or the handrail becomes your best friend. Let's start now. In just a second, we'll get into the very first food, one that's not only delicious but filled with critical nutrients that help support muscle contractions, blood flow, and joint cushioning. You may already have it in your fridge. It's green, it's powerful, and it could be the easiest change you make all week. So stay with me, because your legs are worth fighting for. Leafy green 1. Leafy greens, rawlazan, spinach, kale, Swiss chard. So what's the first food your legs are desperately waiting for? It's one you've probably overlooked, but it's a powerhouse hiding in plain sight. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard may look humble on your plate, but inside, they're working like elite bodyguards for your legs, shielding your muscles, joints, and bones from the silent effects of aging. These greens are rich in essential nutrients that directly support lower body strength. One of the most important is magnesium, a mineral that plays a central role in how your muscles contract and relax. Without enough magnesium, muscles are more prone to cramps, spasms, and fatigue, especially at night, when many older adults report sudden leg cramps that jolt them from sleep. Including magnesium-rich greens in your meals helps maintain smoother muscle movement and reduces those unwanted nighttime surprises. They're also loaded with potassium, another crucial nutrient that helps regulate fluid balance and supports proper circulation. As we age, our blood vessels can become less efficient, which means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach the legs. Potassium helps keep the blood flowing, and that means more energy and faster recovery for tired, aging muscles. But leafy greens don't stop there. They're also a top source of vitamin K, which is essential for bone health. Vitamin K supports calcium absorption and bone mineralization, reducing your risk of fractures, which become more common as we grow older. In fact, research has shown that vitamin K plays a key role in maintaining bone density, particularly in the hips and legs, the areas most vulnerable in a fall. Beyond vitamins and minerals, these greens are packed with antioxidants, compounds that combat inflammation and protect your joints from daily wear and tear. For someone who struggles with stiffness in the knees or ankles, this can make a meaningful difference. Antioxidants help slow the breakdown of cartilage and soothe inflamed tissues, making movement smoother and less painful. Over the years, I've had many older clients tell me, I didn't think adding greens would do anything. But after just a few weeks of adding a handful of spinach to their breakfast omelet or blending kale into a smoothie, they noticed fewer cramps, better balance, and a sense of lightness in their step. It's a small adjustment, but it has a big impact. If you want to give your legs a daily dose of strength, leafy greens are a no-brainer. Whether raw in a salad, sautéed lightly in olive oil, or blended into a green smoothie, they're easy to add and hard to replace. They may not come in a pill, but they work like medicine for your legs. Now, if leafy greens are the silent protectors, the next food is the bold healer, one that dives deep into your blood vessels, joints, and even your brain. Let's talk about fatty fish. Fish 2. Fatty fish, the bold healer for aging legs. If leafy greens are the silent protectors, then fatty fish are the bold healers, working from the inside out to restore what time and inflammation have quietly worn down. Think salmon, mackerel, sardines, and herring. These oily fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory agents we know. As we age, circulation becomes a major issue, especially to the legs and feet. You may notice cold toes, swelling in the ankles, or a heavy feeling after standing. These signs often mean that blood isn't flowing as freely as it used to. Omega-3s help improve the flexibility of your blood vessels and reduce inflammation in the walls of your arteries, making it easier for your heart to push oxygen-rich blood down to your legs. But omega-3s don't just support blood flow, they're also champions for joint health. Inflammation is one of the biggest contributors to joint stiffness and pain, particularly in the knees and hips. That slow burning ache that makes getting up from a chair feel like a chore? That's inflammation at work. Omega-3s calm that fire. They cushion your joints, reduce morning stiffness, and make everyday movements feel smoother, especially when consumed consistently over time. I remember one client, a 72-year-old man who used to love walking with his grandchildren, but had stopped due to knee pain. We made one simple change, adding grilled salmon to his dinner twice a week. Within a month, he was back on the trail, walking, smiling, and saying, "I feel like my knees woke up." That's the kind of quiet miracle omega-3s can offer. Another key benefit of fatty fish is their impact on muscle health. Aging naturally reduces muscle mass, a condition called sarcopenia. Omega-3s have been shown to stimulate muscle protein synthesis, helping preserve strength and stability in the legs. When combined with protein and light movement, they form a trifecta for muscular resilience. For the best results, aim for 2 servings per week of wild-caught salmon or mackerel. Grilled, baked, or added to a salad. Skip the deep frying to preserve the healthy fats. If you're not a fan of fish, consider a high-quality omega-3 supplement, but always consult your doctor first, especially if you're on blood thinners. Fatty fish may not be flashy, but they go deep, healing joints, powering circulation, and protecting your muscles. They're not just food, they're therapy on a plate. Coming up next, we'll shift from the ocean to the earth and explore a vibrant, root-based food that fuels your legs with clean, steady energy all day long. Let's talk about sweet potatoes. Roasted sweet potato 3. Sweet, the gentle fuel that powers your steps. After the strength of leafy greens and the healing power of fatty fish, we now turn to something softer, warmer, but no less powerful. Sweet potatoes may look simple on the surface, but inside, they're a perfect example of nature's gentle medicine for your aging legs. These vibrant orange root vegetables are loaded with beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A, a key nutrient for maintaining skin health and a strong immune system. But for your legs, sweet potatoes offer something far more direct. Steady, muscle-friendly energy. Unlike simple carbs that spike your blood sugar and leave you crashing an hour later, sweet potatoes are packed with complex carbohydrates. These digest slowly, releasing energy gradually into your bloodstream, keeping your muscles fueled and your stamina steady throughout the day. If you've ever felt your legs get tired just halfway through a walk or while climbing stairs, that could be a sign they're not getting the sustained energy they need. Beyond their slow-burning fuel, sweet potatoes are also rich in vitamin C, which plays a critical role in the production of collagen, the protein that holds your tendons, ligaments, and joints together. As we age, collagen naturally decreases, leading to stiffness, instability, and greater risk of injury. Vitamin C helps rebuild and preserve those connective tissues, keeping your legs flexible and resilient. And let's not forget potassium, a mineral that's essential for proper muscle contraction and nerve signaling. Sweet potatoes provide a natural, sodium-balancing source of potassium that helps prevent muscle cramps, especially those that strike in the middle of the night. I can't tell you how many seniors I've worked with who struggled with sudden leg cramps, only to find relief after adding potassium-rich foods like sweet potatoes into their weekly routine. There's something comforting, even nostalgic, about a warm serving of baked sweet potato. It's one of those rare foods that feels like comfort food but acts like a superfood. You can mash it, roast it, or slice it into wedges and bake it with a touch of olive oil and cinnamon. However you prepare it, you're giving your legs a gentle boost, the kind of support that lasts through the afternoon walk, the trip to the store, or just a day without pain. One of my older clients once told me, I never realized how powerful food could be until I swapped my morning toast for roasted sweet potato. It didn't just improve her energy, it helped stabilize her mood, her digestion, and most importantly, her confidence in walking longer distances. Sweet potatoes don't shout for attention, but they quietly nourish, restore, and protect. And that's exactly what your legs need at this stage of life. Fuel that's kind, consistent, and full of purpose. Up next, we'll move from the earth to something even more versatile, a food packed with high-quality protein and essential vitamins that play a vital role in preserving both muscle and nerve health. Let's talk about eggs. Egg 4. Eggs, the everyday muscle protector. Now let's talk about a food that's as familiar as it gets, something you've probably eaten hundreds, even thousands of times. But you may not realize just how vital it is to your leg strength, balance, and overall mobility. I'm talking about eggs, a true everyday hero when it comes to preserving muscle in aging bodies. Eggs are packed with high-quality protein, the kind your body can easily absorb and use to repair and rebuild muscle tissue. As we age, we naturally lose muscle, a condition known as sarcopenia. It starts silently, but you'll notice it when getting up from a chair feels harder or your legs feel weaker after a short walk. By including enough protein in your daily meals, especially from sources like eggs, you give your body what it needs to fight that muscle loss head-on. But eggs go far beyond just protein. They're one of the richest natural sources of vitamin B12, which supports the health of your nerves and red blood cells. Healthy nerves are essential for balance, coordination, and leg control, all things that become increasingly important as we grow older. A deficiency in B12 can lead to numbness, tingling, and even difficulty walking, symptoms I've seen more than once in older adults who simply weren't absorbing enough of this key vitamin. Eggs also contain vitamin D, a nutrient that works hand in hand with calcium to maintain bone strength. Without enough vitamin D, your body can't absorb calcium effectively, which weakens your bones and increases the risk of fractures, especially in weight-bearing areas like the hips and legs. For seniors, maintaining bone density is just as important as maintaining muscle. Without both, mobility becomes fragile. What I love about eggs, and what my clients love too, is how incredibly versatile they are. Scrambled, boiled, poached, or even blended into a smoothie, eggs can be added to almost any meal. One of my favorite breakfast recommendations for seniors is a 2-egg omelet with spinach and mushrooms. In just one plate, you're supporting muscle, nerves, and bones, and it tastes great, too. And don't be afraid of the yolk. That golden center holds most of the egg's nutrients, including vitamin D, B12, choline, and healthy fats. Unless your doctor has advised otherwise, eating whole eggs in moderation is not only safe, it's highly beneficial for leg health. One of my clients in her late 60s once said, "I thought protein shakes were the answer. Turns out, it was just 2 eggs a day that made my legs feel alive again." That's the quiet magic of real food. So if you're looking for an easy, affordable way to nourish your legs daily, look no further than the humble egg. It's small, but mighty. Next, we'll crack open another category of nutrient-rich foods, ones that are crunchy, satisfying, and loaded with natural compounds that support muscle relaxation, blood flow, and joint recovery. Let's talk about nuts and seeds. Peanuts 5. Nuts and seeds, the small giants of circulation and strength. Sometimes, the most powerful things in life come in small packages. That couldn't be truer when it comes to nuts and seeds, tiny nutritional giants that deliver major benefits for your legs, especially as you age. Almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, they may seem like simple snacks, but inside each bite lies a treasure chest of nutrients your muscles, joints, and blood vessels crave. Let's start with magnesium, one of the most underrated minerals for leg health. Magnesium helps your muscles relax and contract efficiently, and it's particularly helpful in preventing cramps, especially the kind that hit at night when you're finally resting. I've had dozens of seniors tell me they'd wake up with painful spasms in their calves. But once they started eating a small handful of magnesium-rich almonds or pumpkin seeds each day, those nighttime cramps either disappeared or became far less frequent. Nuts and seeds are also excellent sources of healthy fats, particularly omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation in your joints and blood vessels. Chronic inflammation is one of the silent drivers of leg pain, stiffness, and poor circulation. By calming that inflammation, omega-3s can make it easier for your knees and ankles to move, and for your blood to flow freely all the way down to your toes. Then there's vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant found abundantly in sunflower seeds, almonds, and hazelnuts. Vitamin E helps protect muscle cells from oxidative stress, the wear and tear damage caused by aging, pollution, and poor circulation. This kind of cellular protection is key for maintaining muscle recovery, especially when you're staying active or doing light exercise to keep your legs strong. Fiber is another hidden gem in these foods. It supports healthy blood sugar levels, which is especially important for older adults with diabetes or prediabetes, both of which can damage nerves and circulation in the legs over time. Plus, fiber aids digestion and helps regulate inflammation throughout the body. From a professional perspective, I often recommend nuts and seeds to seniors who need a compact, convenient source of long-lasting energy. One client of mine in her 70s used to feel lightheaded on her afternoon walks. We added a small container of trail mix, almonds, walnuts, dried cranberries, and pumpkin seeds to her routine, and the difference was remarkable. Not only did her energy last longer, but her joints felt looser and more supported. You don't need to overdo it. A small handful, about a quarter cup, of mixed nuts and seeds each day is enough to give your legs a consistent supply of protein, healthy fats, minerals, and antioxidants. You can sprinkle them on oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or just enjoy them as a midday snack. Think of it as a daily tune-up for your legs, simple, satisfying, and effective. Next, we'll move into a category of foods that brings color, sweetness, and even more healing power, packed with antioxidants that go straight to your blood vessels and connective tissues. Let's dive into berries. Strawberry 6. Berries, the colorful shield for blood vessels and joints. There's something joyful about berries, isn't there? Whether it's the deep blue of blueberries, the bold red of strawberries, or the rich purple of blackberries, they don't just look vibrant. They bring vitality to your body in ways that are especially powerful for your legs. These small fruits are packed with anthocyanins, a group of antioxidants responsible for their vivid colors. But they're more than just pretty. Anthocyanins work behind the scenes to fight inflammation, especially in your blood vessels and joints. For older adults, where chronic low-level inflammation can silently damage circulation and mobility, berries act like a protective shield, calming the immune response and helping your legs feel lighter, stronger, and more agile. One of the biggest benefits of berries is how they support vascular health. As we age, blood vessels can stiffen or become narrowed, limiting the flow of oxygen-rich blood to the legs. Poor circulation leads to that heavy, sluggish feeling in your calves or feet. Berries help keep the lining of your blood vessels flexible and strong, which means better blood flow, better energy, and better recovery for your leg muscles after activity. Then there's vitamin C, another star player in berries, and one that's crucial for producing collagen. Collagen is the structural protein that gives your tendons, ligaments, and cartilage their strength and elasticity. When collagen levels drop, which they naturally do with age, joints can become stiff, sore, and more prone to injury. By supporting collagen production, berries help keep joints supple, reduce stiffness, and maintain the integrity of the soft tissues that support your legs. I once worked with a 68-year-old woman who had stopped her morning walks due to constant knee discomfort. Instead of pushing pills, we tried nutrition. She began adding a berry mix, blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries to her morning oatmeal 5 days a week. In a matter of weeks, she reported feeling less swollen, more mobile, and a bit lighter on my feet. That's the quiet, consistent power of berries at work. Beyond their leg-specific benefits, berries also support digestion, reduce sugar spikes, and promote gut health, which, as new research shows, plays a surprising role in inflammation levels throughout the entire body, including your joints. You don't need a mountain of berries. Just a half cup daily can provide your legs and blood vessels with a steady supply of protection. Add them to smoothies, oatmeal, yogurt, or eat them fresh as a snack. And yes, frozen berries work just as well as fresh. Now that we've explored the vibrant, healing world of berries, let's move on to one of the most powerful and often overlooked sources of leg fuel: legumes, beans, lentils, and chickpeas, rich in plant-based protein, iron, and fiber. Get ready for part 7. 7. Legumes, the plant-based powerhouse for muscle and mobility. If there's one category of food that deserves far more attention than it gets, it's legumes. Beans, lentils, and chickpeas may not seem glamorous, but they are nutritional powerhouses, and they do some of their best work in protecting your legs as you age. Legumes are especially rich in plant-based protein, which plays a critical role in maintaining and rebuilding muscle. As we age, we lose muscle mass more quickly, and without enough protein in your diet, your legs begin to feel weaker, less stable, and more prone to fatigue. The protein in legumes supports the repair of worn muscle fibers and helps you maintain the strength and balance you need to walk with confidence. But protein is only part of the story. Legumes are also a fantastic source of iron, an essential mineral that ensures oxygen is efficiently transported throughout your body. And that matters a great deal for your legs. Without adequate oxygen delivery, your muscles struggle to perform, you feel tired faster, and recovery takes longer. Many seniors unknowingly live with low iron levels, and it shows up in their legs first. Heaviness, shortness of breath when climbing stairs, or burning fatigue after only short activity. And then there's fiber, perhaps the most overlooked yet powerful feature of legumes. Fiber doesn't just help your digestion. It reduces inflammation, stabilizes blood sugar, and supports cardiovascular health. When your blood vessels and heart are working efficiently, it directly improves circulation to your lower body, reducing swelling, heaviness, and the risk of conditions like peripheral artery disease. I've worked with older clients who felt unsure about beans at first, too heavy, they'd say, or hard to digest. But with slow introductions, like a lentil soup a couple of times a week or chickpeas tossed into a salad, they found not only improved energy but better leg endurance, fewer aches, and a sense of grounded strength. One 75-year-old client who'd been avoiding beans for years now calls them his leg fuel. Even better, legumes are affordable, versatile, and meat-free, which makes them ideal for seniors looking to cut back on red meat but still maintain muscle strength. Whether you're preparing black bean chili, red lentil stew, or roasted chickpeas as a crunchy snack, you're feeding your legs exactly what they need to stay mobile and strong. Aim for at least 2 to 3 servings per week. Your heart will benefit. Your digestion will thank you. And your legs? They'll move with more ease, stamina, and confidence. Now that we've explored all 7 of these powerful, leg-loving foods, from leafy greens to legumes, it's time to bring everything together. In the next section, we'll reflect on what this means for your health, your independence, and how you can take simple steps, starting today, to walk stronger for years to come. So now you know, strong, healthy legs don't come from luck. They come from what you feed them every single day. Leafy greens that protect, fatty fish that heal, sweet potatoes that fuel, eggs that rebuild, nuts and seeds that restore, berries that shield, and legumes that power you forward. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need complicated diets. You just need to start, right here, with these 7 foods. Because every step you take tomorrow depends on the choices you make today. I've worked with older adults for over a decade, and what I've learned is this: it's never too late to rebuild strength. It's never too late to feel stable again. And it's never too late to choose independence over decline. So if you found value in this video, if even one of these foods surprised you, inspired you, or gave you hope, then do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know you're out there and that this message matters. Drop a comment below and tell me, which one of these foods will you start with this week? I read every reply, and trust me, your words might just inspire someone else watching this today. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Because this isn't just about food. It's about protecting your freedom, your dignity, and the simple joy of standing tall on your own 2 legs. Let's keep walking forward together.